So you're here because that check engine light is on in your Ford, and the scanner is giving you one specific code, P2128. Hey, don't worry. In the next couple of minutes, we're going to break down exactly what that code means and, more importantly, the steps to get it fixed. Let's dive right in.
Seeing a code like P2128 pop up can feel a little intimidating for sure. But here's the good news. It points to a really common and totally solvable issue with your car's throttle system. We're going to give you the clear, simple answers you need to figure out what's wrong and what to do next.
First things first, let's decode what P2128 is all about. We're going to translate all that technical jargon so you know exactly what your car is trying to tell you.
Okay, so the official definition says P2128 is a high circuit voltage in the throttle/pedal position sensor/switch E circuit. I know, that is a mouthful. But what does it actually mean in plain English? Here's the simple way to think about it. Your gas pedal isn't connected by a cable anymore. It's drive-by-wire. It has a sensor, the accelerator pedal position sensor, or APP, that tells the computer how much you're pressing the pedal. Well, code P2128 means that sensor is sending a voltage signal that's way higher than the computer is expecting. It's like the sensor is shouting at the top of its lungs when it should just be talking normally.
All right, so now we know what the code means. The next big questions are, of course, why is this happening, and how in the world do we fix it? Well, the good news is it almost always boils down to one of two common culprits. The problem almost always follows one of two paths. Either you've got a circuit short to voltage, which is really just a fancy way of saying there's a wiring issue, or the accelerator pedal position sensor itself is damaged and has failed. And the solutions? They're just as direct. You either fix the wiring or you replace the sensor. Let's start with the wiring. A circuit short might sound complicated, but all it really means is that the electricity in that circuit isn't going where it's supposed to. A wire could be frayed or damaged and touching another power source, causing that super high voltage reading and totally confusing the computer. So the approach here is pretty methodical. First, you're just going to visually inspect the wiring that goes to the accelerator pedal sensor. You're looking for any obvious breaks, frayed spots, or any corrosion. If you find any damage, you replace that part of the wire. And finally, you'll use a multimeter just to double-check that the voltage is back within the normal specified range for your vehicle.
Okay, but what if you check the wiring and it looks perfectly fine? Well, if that's the case, our attention shifts right over to the sensor itself. You know, like any electronic part, the APP sensor can just wear out or fail over time. Think about all that heat, vibration, and the millions of times that gas pedal gets pressed.
The fix here is pretty straightforward. You replace the sensor. But, and this is a really important step, don't stop there. After you put the new part in, you have to make sure it's working right. You'll use a diagnostic scanner to look at what's called the PID, or parameter ID readings. Just think of this as the live data stream from that sensor. You're basically watching its vital signs to confirm the new part is healthy and sending all the right signals.
All right, we have covered a lot of ground. So to make sure you've got a solid plan of attack, let's bring everything we've talked about together into one simple diagnostic checklist. This is your clear path forward.
Now it's really crucial to follow these steps in order. Start with the simplest thing first, a good visual check of the wiring. Then, if that looks okay, you verify the circuit voltage. If that's fine too, then you check the PID data from the sensor itself. And hey, here's a pro tip for you. Always check for any technical service bulletins or TSBs from Ford. You might just find out there's a known issue that the manufacturer has already put out a specific fix for. Listen, seeing that check engine light pop on is always stressful. Nobody likes it. But understanding the code and knowing the actual steps to diagnose it, that puts you right back in control of the situation. You've got this. This really gets to the heart of the matter, and a quote from our source material sums it up perfectly. It's not about guessing what's wrong, it's about following a logical process. By properly diagnosing the issue, you can be confident that the repair is right and that your vehicle is back to running smoothly again.
So, there you have it. We've decoded the jargon, we've identified the most likely causes, and we've laid out a clear path for you to follow. All that knowledge is now in your hands. So the only question left is, are you ready to get in there and tackle that P2128 code? I really hope this helped you out, and thanks for watching.